Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, John Haynes, A Conversation with Death. The man who rules the world and the angel of darkness take on a horde of demons in this inaugural John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, A Conversation with Death for 99 cents on Kindle or in paperback today. Last weekend, there was a shooting and a hostage situation that transpired at a Trader Joe's. And as I took a critical look at the series of events that led up to that hostage situation, I began to see yet another beta male participating in another horrific act of violence. Now, this incident started out at a home in South LA, formerly known as South Central, and it looks like this beta male got into an argument with his grandmother, and he decided, after he got into this argument with his grandmother, to shoot her 7 times, and then I believe he shot his girlfriend as well, and then took his girlfriend and drove down South LA to this Trader Joe's. And when he got into the parking lot of this Trader Joe's, he got into a shootout with police and then decided to barricade himself inside of this Trader Joe's. Now, this incident led to a lot of people scrambling for cover and trying to escape this Trader Joe's, but the core of what led to all of this violence is this beta male. And you've heard me talk about these beta males in numerous videos and how they don't have critical thinking skills, how they don't have problem solving skills, and how they escalate situations into these horrific acts of violence. And it looks like this incident at Trader Joe's fits within what I've been talking about in numerous videos regarding the spectrum of violent behaviors, because a lot of people believe that these beta males just participate in mass shootings, but these beta males also participate in other violent behaviors, because your beta male, his spectrum of violent behaviors can range from him going into a screaming fit when a woman rejects his advances, to him slapping a woman, to him assaulting a woman, to him raping a woman, to him even going out here and shooting up someone, or he can go out here and participate in something like a mass shooting, or like the mayhem and violence of that hostage situation that this individual participated in. And that again comes from the way this beta male is raised in these single mother households, because inside most of these single mother households, these beta males, they do not learn how to be socialized to think and behave like a man. No, due to them having a single mother or a single grandmother raising them, they learn not a logical way to think critically, but they learn how to feel emotionally. And because they are feeling a certain way, they act impulsively on their feelings. And again, once their feelings are made to feel anger, they go out here and act very violently, and they participate in this spectrum of violent behaviors, like we saw at that incident where this man shot his grandmother, and I believe he shot his girlfriend in the arm, then decided to drive down to this Trader Joe's after crashing his car, and then went and had this shootout with police, and then escalated things into this hostage situation. And the reason why these beta males go out here and escalate their behaviors, again, has to do with the fact that they have learned female life skills and not male life skills. And because these men have learned female life skills, they do not know how to critically think, nor do they know how to conflict resolve in a constructive manner. And because they do not know how to think critically or solve problems in a constructive manner using logic and reason, they go on their feelings, and then they go out here and participate in these violent behaviors, and then they escalate these violent behaviors to turn into the mayhem like we saw at these Trader Joe's. And as I've stated before in numerous videos as related to these violent incidents, I said we're going to see more of these violent incidents because we have over 2 to 3 generations of these beta males who came from these single mother households, which were socially engineered by the white feminist movement, because the white feminist movement told the world that a woman could raise a boy to be a man on her own, even though God said in his order that it was God, Jesus, man, and woman. The feminists told the world that a boy could be raised to be a man by a woman, and we see from the results of this violence that that's not the case at all, because when you raise a beta male, the beta male has the social traits of a female, and because this man has the social traits of a female and the physical power of a man, you have a dangerous combination roaming around in society. And what makes our society dangerous these days, again, is the fact that we have 2 to 3 generations of these beta males roaming around in society, and that these men just do not know how to function as men. They do not know how to think like men, and they don't know how to conflict resolve or solve problems like men. And because they do not know how to navigate the world of men and do not have male life skills, that is why we are seeing this escalation of violence here in America. And as I've said in numerous videos over the last 2 to 3 years, we're going to see more of this violence and not less, because we have, again, 2 to 3 generations of these ticking time bombs roaming across the country, and no one knows when these guys will go off, what will set them off, or what type of violence they will participate in when they go off, because their violence can range, again, from a screaming fit all the way up to a mass murder, like a mass shooting. And the reason why no one wants to talk about the root causes of these beta males participating in these mass shootings or this spectrum of violence is because most Americans don't want to point the finger at the white feminist or many of these single mothers and grandmothers who raised these boys in this dysfunctional manner where they learned these female life skills. And many people in Madison Avenue and corporate America don't want you to talk about the way these boys are raised, because they make a lot of money with these single mother households and they profit from these single mother households. So they don't want to talk about how these single mother households have bared the children of the corn and how their fruit are wreaking havoc all across the country, because it's a threat to these females and their gynocentric welfare state, and it's a threat to many big businesses' profit margin, because they make their money on a consumer-based economy, and they don't want to wind up having to change their economy because of these beta males. But these beta males, they are growing to become an increasing threat, an increasing menace to society, and most people, again, don't know how dangerous these guys are or the long-term damage that these men are doing to Western civilization. Because just like Jesus talked about salt having no savor, the beta male has no savor, and oftentimes he's not good for anything except to be thrown to the ground and trampled on by men. But these guys are ticking time bombs, and what happens is they explode wherever they go like a landmine, and they do damage to people whenever they wind up going off. That's what's scary about these beta males, and that's something most people in the government and big business don't want to confront, and that's something many of the females don't want to confront, and that's why this man crisis continues to go on, and why we're going to see more of these violent incidents in the future, and no one ever talking about solutions to the man crisis, because no one wants to deal with it, because they don't want to alienate most of these women out here, and they don't want to change the economic system where they continue to get money from women being consumers. So when I look at this incident at Trader Joe's, it is not an isolated incident. It is yet another incident that in the pattern and profile of these mass shooters and other beta males I have talked about in numerous videos, a pattern and a profile that most Americans don't want to talk about, because in order to talk about the man crisis means holding women accountable, and there are people in government, big business, and many of these women who just don't want to be held accountable for creating this man crisis, which is growing worse with each passing day. If you'd like to read more about the man crisis, you may do so in a couple of months when I release my new book, The Man Crisis. In that book, I will be talking about why these beta males are going out here and participating in these acts of violence, what's leading to them participating in these acts of violence, and what's the root causes of their dysfunction that is leading to so many men being in crisis here in America and the West. And that book I hope to have out by November or December of 2018. But until then, you can read my other men's issues books in the Simp series, like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Manginas, They Look Like Men But They Act Like Ladies, The Misadventures of Captain Save-A-Ho, and the Stop Simping in the Workplace, and a book that is similar to The Man Crisis, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, where I go in depth talking about the reasons why black women are single, and many of the reasons why many of the black men in the community wound up in crisis. But I go in depth in The Man Crisis, and you can check that book out in November or December of 2018. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.